I'd like to thank Vizio for going through and sending me this security camera to go through and show you exactly how it works. I'm going to go through and show you the unboxing and the complete setup. So we'd be able to go through and have it like this, hanging up. And from outside, you'll be able to access it with your cell phone wirelessly through the antennas. It'll go through and connect, and that's how it works. You'll be able to easily share this stuff, and you do get 6 seconds free with the cloud membership. It's a free cloud membership, and it keeps it for 30 days. Let's go through and do the unboxing, give you an idea. So once we get it open, you are going to see the camera itself. Let's we're going to go through and pull out here. And you can see how it looks here. We can also go through and put a card in the top. So this does take a micro SD card up to 128 gigs. I do usually recommend getting those for security cameras because it's nice to have the extra local storage. It just seems like it, then you don't have to worry about the cloud as much because you have that extra space right there. And if you're looking for the wires, they are underneath. So you just pull those out and you can see that it does connect. And you can go through and connect it and you'll be able to screw it in, which I'll show you in a moment. And then you can either connect it with the USB or you can plug it into the wall. Now the cord is pretty long, so you do have a decent distance here. You know, I have a pretty long arm's length, and you can see we could probably go through a few times with that. Here, we're going to go through and take this portion here and plug it in with this. So I'm just going to go through and do that. Once it's plugged in, you just go through and screw this. This helps with the waterproofing, so water doesn't get in there. If you're going to go through and keep it outside, that's definitely going to go through and help. Next, we can go through and plug this into an area, which I can do here, or you can go through and put the brick on, and then you'll be able to plug it into a power socket. And also just want to remove this. This is just to make sure this doesn't get scratched during transit. And now you have that going there. First thing we want to do is go ahead and plug this in, and then we're going to download the app to get started. All right, when I plugged it in, it did flash lights around here. That was pretty neat. Now we're going to go through and do the app. Boom, it is called Cloud Edge. There'll be in the instructions a QR code to go through and click on. This is going through and doing stuff, spinning around and beeping. I guess it's checking all the rotation areas and everything like that. This comes with 3 screws for mounting as well, so you'll be able to go through and mount it wherever you'd like. And this is going to be 24/7 recording, which is great. It can see up to 55 feet away. So we'll go through here. We're going to go ahead and choose Add a Device, and this is a free app to go through and download. And here we're going to go through, it says Device Found. We're going to go through and select it. We're going to select the wireless network. Now with the wireless network, this is really awesome because it's 2.4 or 5 gigahertz it connects to. Most of these type of cameras only connect to 2.4. So this one's going to go through and give you more range because it can go through and connect to the 5. So that's awesome because it can be a mess not being able to have that. Make sure the device is powered on. I know it's on because it was moving around. Make sure it's connected to the router. Make sure the device and the phone are on the same network. They should be. All right, we're on step 2. So I'm assuming it got on the network. All right. Got successful there. Let's go ahead and choose next. Sounds good. Now it says to install it. We'll go through and just install it looking that way. Going through and just checking. These here, camera and the light in the window. And now we are all set. So here I'm going into recording management. It says found SD card is not supported. It'll need to be formatted. This is how it is all the time. So we just want to go through and choose OK. And it's going to go through and format the card. It's going to erase what's currently on the card, but it needs to set it up so it can be used in the future. So we're going to do that. And it's just going to go through and finish that. And then we'll be able to record directly to the card itself. And then we'll go ahead and choose done. So we can restart the device, which I'm going to go through and do since we just formatted the card. That way it can use the card. And you have a whole lot of different settings in here you can mess around with. You have alarm stuff, you have everything like that. Now, this is going to go through and work a lot of different ways here for you. You can go through and set it up for motion. If he sees motion, it'll go through and pick up. Now, this is a 5 megapixel camera and it can turn 360 degrees, which is awesome. So you're going to have really clear pictures because it's that 5 megapixel. A lot of these cameras usually end up being on 2 or 3 megapixels, and they're not as good as quality as 5. Obviously, the higher the better. This does have AI and human detection and sound detection. So if it hears or sees someone, it'll go through and start recording. You can also set this up for alerts. So if someone walks by, all of a sudden it goes off and it's going to be like, hey, someone's here. So you could set that up in the settings, which I think we might already have set up. We'd go into alarm management and you could do noise detection, motion detection, medium. You could set this up like if you want it to always go off or sometimes humanoid detection. So if you want to see humans, and I said noise detection as well. Here you have the image settings. You can go through and choose the site device settings. Pretty much everything you need here. Light, motion tracking. So I can go through and stick with something. That's something I would probably turn on because I think it's pretty cool and it's moving now. Just to go through and get a better idea here. Let's see if it goes through and picks up. Okay, we got some motion and then we can go in and you'll hear it. You can see the video playback there. You can also set it up to work as a walkie-talkie. So basically they can talk here and on your phone you can talk as well. And you have different things you could choose here. When you do get the video, you could put it in an album, a screenshot, calendar, all of that fun stuff. You can go into live and we can see me now. Talk one. And then you also have the cloud. You can go into cloud.
We go into alarm management.
So there we have it. The VIZIO 5 megapixel security camera, 24/7 recording. And yeah, worked great. Had no problems with it. I thought it was a great camera. It connected good. I did have a problem in the very beginning, but it was my fault. I put my network password in incorrectly. Make sure you're going through and putting the first letter lowercase if you are using a lowercase, because it's going to auto capitalize the first letter on an iPhone. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, great camera. Haven't seen any issues with it. Works really clear. Yeah, definitely a great one. And it's also smaller than the others, which I like. The others are usually beefier, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think it's better to be smaller for something like this. So overall, would I purchase this? Definitely.